Oh, am I live now? Oh, look at that. See? Good thing the wife's still awake. Well, take bazillion. No. So it was quite an adventure getting all the ingredients tonight because I got all the ingredients together. Found out I didn't have any ginger to make ginger cookies. So I went to the store and I bought more cinnamon, which is like a fraction of this recipe. And I bought 8 pounds of butter, salted and unsalted. So, which reminds me I should put these away. Because this actually recipe doesn't call for any butter, it calls for shortening. But we will be making a recipe from a cookbook that was created out of all the cookie swap parties that my grandmother had over the years. This one is from 2006. That was in this cookbook called 20 Years of Friendships and Cookies from 1986 to 2006 and counting. There was one up until quite recently, and that has made it it was quite a tradition. I'm going to try to start a tradition of my own, but doing it in like May, maybe March. Something that's not completely cluttered with holidays and everything else, because December was really hard and was always the first week in December. And it was like the first Wednesday or something like that. And it was just really hard to do. I don't know how the people that had jobs that needed to be up and out the door at 9 a.m. in their desk ever made it to my grandmother's house and then stayed like all night. I don't know what they did the next day. But this one is a recipe that I made in 2006. I was, 2006, how old was I? I don't know, how old was I in 2006? Math is hard for me in general. Let me find this page again. I had it all turned to the page. We are making giant ginger cookies tonight, which is why you need the ginger and not more cinnamon. Oh, nope, that's not it. That's something else. That's something else. I could look in the index that was created for me in this book. Giant to be under G for giant ginger cookies. Page 89. I was so close. I don't know why I missed it. There it is, right there. Let's see. So I have all the ingredients out already. Also, I have my feed so that I can read it instead of having to like jump over there out of range and everything. As I start putting things in the bowl, I will zoom to the actual process. Instead of you guys just watching me pour things in, you can actually see me mixing and pouring and all that jazz into the bowl itself. But I have flour, I have baking soda, I have ground cloves, I had 2 eggs. I will get them out again. I put them away because I wasn't sure if I was going to even be able to complete this tonight in my saga for getting ginger. I have molasses. I have sugar. I now have ginger. Somewhere around here I have ginger. I have ginger. I am a bit of a spice snob now that I know what spices are supposed to taste like and what quality spices are. So, it's basic, boring ginger, not some, fancy ginger. What else did I need? Shortening, more sugar, and salt. I got all that. I got my handy little Wonder Cup thing here. So now we're ready to go. So I'm going to preheat the oven to 350. and then we can get started. Let's see what I need. I need a medium bowl. What one do I want to use? Do I want to use that one? Yeah, we'll use that one. Nope, we won't. That's gross. That needs to get cleaned. The downfalls of having things that are pretty on your shelves is that sometimes they're just pretty on your shelves. That is now filled with like just the grease from being in a kitchen and not moving for 3 years. We've been in this house for 4. So it's just kind of been there. Let's see what we got for bowls. I guess I'll use this white one. This white one should work pretty well. That will fit 4.5 cups of flour. Okay, so I got a bowl. I'm going to stir the flour, ginger, baking soda, cloves, cinnamon, and salt in a bowl. And then we're going to go to another bowl and do all of that in a different bowl. And then we're going to mix them all together. I sometimes cheat at this and I skip to the second set of directions, do all of that, and then put everything in. But they prefer if you stir all together the ingredients, which I totally understand. I'm sure it's going to make a better quality product by doing it this way. Okay, where'd we go? Let me zoom in on the island. Ooh, look, now you can see everything. Let's move my phone out of the way so you don't see random text messages. But now you can see everything, and we can do this upright. We're going to stir the flour. So flour first. We'll measure that. I just bought flour the other day because we ran out. I needed so little for a recipe, and I had just enough in the container that we keep it in that it wasn't a problem, but I wanted to make sure. Oh, let me get a knife to do it upright because there's this whole thing on. I have to read it. I'll have to read it to you guys at some time. There is a actual thing in the Julia Child cookbook. It actually has in the recipe I was following the other day about knife leveling or leveling of cups, and I'm sure it's about knife leveling. But it was, I was like, why are we worrying about this? Like, does it have to be that, precision? But I guess it does. I know baking's a science. And then half a cup more. Can't really do it in this one. I have a cup that has it halfway up. You can do a half cup, but for certain ingredients, that's probably going to become problematic. And sorry, guys, for keep dipping in the view with my cleavage. That is not my intent. What else do we need? We need the ginger, which is this one. I also need a spoon, one of my favorite spoons. We'll get that. Ginger. How much ginger? We need 4 teaspoons of ground ginger. So we'll take this off. See, fresh and lift and peel. Well, it says lift and peel. Wow, this is something else. This is not a lift and peel because that did not do anything that it was supposed to. That was gross. Oh, okay. Make sure my cat doesn't get into mischief. tablespoon. That looks like a teaspoon. Ah, this also isn't the kind. I have the wrong kind of teaspoon right now. One. Ooh. 2.5. 3.5. That's 4. That's terrifying. So that was that. So flour can go away. That can go away. Now we're on to baking soda. Baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Let me rinse this off real quick. Don't want to put ginger into the baking soda. I now know why I buy different brands. The brand I bought does not let you fit my favorite teaspoons and tablespoons in it. So 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Now that we're done with that, cloves. How much cloves? Ooh, it smells so good. I forgot how much cloves are delicious. Delicious in their smell. It smells like Christmas. So good. Cinnamon. We'll use up the cinnamon I already had first. Cinnamon. A teaspoon. Is it? Okay. This one's the tablespoon.
It's just, okay. The one that you put in the baking soda looked huge on camera.
It's because it's the way it's designed.
Just on camera, it looked huge.
Jillian's just checking to make sure I'm using the right measurements, because that would be... I see your message. Saying, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to start using a different type, though, because it doesn't fit in the jars we have. One and a half teaspoons. 1. And a half. Jillian's messing with my settings. I don't know what she's doing. Okay. Salt.
Changing the font size over here so you'll be able to read it.
Oh, I have my phone.
But your phone, okay.
It was right there. I'm plugged in.
Screen chat app for your phone.
Oh.
But yes, you're only streaming to Twitch.
And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, because apparently that's all it takes to be salt. I know, I need a better system. We'll get there. We'll get there, people. Okay. We're going to mix all this together. And the oven's preheating. We're mixing this together so it will be the best it can be instead of, taking shortcuts. I'm just glad it doesn't ask for a sifter because I don't have a sifter. I'd have to use a sieve or a colander, as I like to call it, to work that through. And while it can be done, it's not my favorite thing in the world. But one day I will have to get a sifter. There's no way around it. Because if I'm going to continue to do this, I'm going to need a sifter. Okay, so I'm setting this aside. We'll put that right there and out of the way. Now let me get another bowl. I'm making sure it's not like use an electric mixer. I'm use a different white bowl now. For this one. And we'll figure out what colors work and everything. Beat shortening for 30 seconds. Oh, this is where this is going to come in handy. Because you need to put this shortening into the Wonder Cup. This one is by OXO. My mom bought it for me. I was having trouble with my grip because I had broken my elbow back in 2006. 2006 sounds right. Or 2005 actually. I think it was 2005. Yeah, 2005 I broke my elbow. I didn't get PT or anything. They didn't say to do that. It was a workman's comp claim, so, I didn't know any better. I was young, I was foolish. And years later, I was working at my job and I went to grip something and I couldn't grip it. It just fell out of my hand. Turns out there's a muscle in your back that controls your fingers. So I did PT for that. Every once in a while, I really should go back to doing my exercises and everything. So I did find my exercise guide of what to do. So we'll see. I'm hoping that this is going to be good with regular beating and not have to do a mixer beating. But we will see. I want to make sure this is all smooshed as much as possible, and then I'll take the knife and go across the top. Oh, I didn't mean to get that there. Oh no. Oh, I'll wash that before I put it away. Got it on the edge of the lid, and that's not where you want it. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Don't want to do that yet. Now we can cut it off into here. And I'll need that again because I need to do it for the... Was it really only... it's a cup and a half. Well, that was half a cup. Now let's do another cup. The molasses you only do half a cup, but we're not at that ingredient yet. I could have set this for a higher cuppage. Let me get the fork again. That worked a lot better for smushing it down and in without wrecking the... Let's get it down in the base first. See how this goes. And then we'll readjust the cup to the height it needs to be. This wasn't meant to be a late night cooking show right now, but it is due to circumstances beyond my control. Called no ginger in the house. should be done with that. But let's just smoosh, 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 smoosh. Smoosh, 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 smoosh. Oh, that goes in here. Okay. Now I can do this. Ta-da! My instructions didn't say an electric mister, and now I'm like... It says it only to do it for like 30 seconds. I think it's just to get it like separated from each other and kind of dispersed throughout the bowl. I mean, it has changed a little bit of the consistency. It's not like a brick anymore, I guess. Okay. Add 2 cups sugar, beat until combined. So here's the sugar. I need 2 cups of sugar. One. 2. That's all that for sugar now. Beat until combined. Oh, I'm going to have to get the eggs in a second. We'll get a cool picture-in-picture going so that you can see this while also seeing me, or like a side-by-side or something like that. Not a side-by-side, picture-in-picture. We'll just have to figure out how big each picture should be, and we'll figure out placement and all that for you guys. So you can get the full experience that is the best for your viewing pleasure. There we go. We got that. I got sugar all over the counter. I have 2 eggs and molasses coming in next. Two eggs. So let's see. 2 eggs. There's 1 egg. Here's 2 eggs. Ta-da! And we're gonna set this for half a cup for the molasses. If I can even open the molasses, I might need to. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do this over here. Getting the next steps ready. And I need hot water let me go to the wide camera so you can see me over here while I wait for the hot water to come, because I can't open molasses, and that's a problem. And I'm hoping it just needs a little heat. I do have another container of molasses, but I'd rather, use one that already is open or could be opened. Let's see, running the hot water in that, if that has changed anything. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Because what it does, it expands the metal ring, the metal cap, and lets you do it. So here we go. We're pouring, we're pouring. Let me go back to the other camera for you guys. See all the good things I'm doing. You can see the crazy brands that I use. Some brands I just have nostalgia for, so you will find that I will use them just because they've been around me. I use the same shortening that my parents used. I use the same molasses my parents used. I do use different baking soda, but actually I don't really know what kind my parents bought because they put everything in Tupperware. So, no idea what they actually used for many of our things. I do know we use King Arthur flour. I use King Arthur flour. Sometimes I switch it up, but most of the time it is King Arthur. Morton salt is generally, but salt I'm not as picky about. The spices I try to go a little bit more upscale. Nowadays I try to go organic when I can. I try to go for things that are co-op owned by farmers, things like that. When I can, like I said earlier, and you'll probably hear me say again, I sometimes just can't keep up with my sustainability efforts depending on what my health is doing, particularly my mental health. My general health is pretty okay, but I'm trying to take that back a little bit and really, hold on, I gotta scrape this shortening stuff off. To do my best that I can. And I know people are, carbon footprint's always going to be a thing, but the more local you can do it, generally the better. I'm not going to say it's perfect. That's far from perfect. But at least we try. Let me scoop over this so I can try to incorporate that a little better. That's looking good. Yeah, that's way better. There's still some chunks of things in there, but it's not crazy. I don't know why my cat is insisting on being in the sink right now. I just put a bunch of dirty dishes in there. I didn't think he would enjoy that. I guess I'm wrong. Okay, it says put in half of the flour mixture. And then we'll do the other half of the flour mixture. For these cookie recipes, I am going to, as I make them, I am going to only do beating. If it says beating, I'm not going to do it with an electric mixer unless it says to, just because most of these recipes have been in the people's families for generations. I don't want to change it up too much from what they had. Oh, I probably could have used that. Because we're going to be rolling these into balls. Actually, we're going to use a ice cream scoop because they are supposed to be giant, and this will make it giant. Welcome, everybody. See, a couple more people jumped on. I'm making giant ginger cookies. I made them back in 2006 as my first attempt because I always decided that I was going to pick a recipe I had never, ever, ever done before. Let me bring you to there you go. Now you can see me. I had a habit of, for these cookie parties that my grandmother hosted, I had a habit of not picking a recipe I'd ever done before. I always picked a brand new cookie. I always made it that the time I was making it for the cookie party was the first time I was ever making it. So sometimes it was an experiment. Like the year I made green tea cookies. That was not a great time. They were the driest, oddest cookie we I think we ever had there. There were so also, every year had its own special cookies that were like, well, we tried it and it didn't work out. This was one of the winners, thankfully. There were no prizes, but you, it was always a joy to see people's faces light up when they ate your cookies. I know I enjoyed it. I'm trying to get all this dough to incorporate, but I really needed either just a little bit bigger bowl or, just a little bit bigger bowl would probably work out. Just because I can't get to the bottom as well as I'd like, and I just broke a spoon. So, go us. I will switch spoons. Let me just get this dough off on the end that's not splintery. We needed new spoons anyway, and this one was.
Now your sound should be back now, but I don't know.
Okay.
That's probably batteries.
That's fine. I'm almost done incorporating these. Yeah, this one has a crack in it too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them cracked.
So I'm just going to figure out what I want to do for that, for choosing for my new ones. I mean, we don't help it by putting them in the dishwasher. That's not really where they belong. Okay, this looks incorporated now. Delicious. Now I can go get that ice cream scoop and we can start shaping them into balls, and then we roll them in coarse granulated sugar, and then we put them on cookie sheets, and you put them at least 2.5 inches apart because otherwise they run into each other. So let's get that started. So here is that. Here's another pan. And we're going to get some parchment paper. It says ungreased cookie sheets. I've still been using parchment just because it makes cleanup so much easier. I did not understand the joys of parchment until only a few years ago, and then now I'll never look back. Okay, now I need a bowl for granulated sugar. I'll get that. And then you can watch me make little balls with the ice cream scoop. Sorry guys, I'm in a different screen. You can see me over here. No, you can't, because that camera's not working. That's not working at all. Where? This one. That's a good one. And now I need a bowl full of sugar. Not that bowl. This bowl. Okay, let's see. We need sugar, which is underneath this pan. we're back. Thankfully, we're back. We are having a battery problem with my mic pack. So I'm making 2 different sizes of this because one, I mounted the scoop that I'm using. I'll show you guys in a second. Let me just change cameras on you so you can see what's going on. So here we go. So the ones here I made by mounting it. So I'm going to make one more by doing that. So I mounted it on it and kept it. Let me see if you can see this. Kept it rounded. So it's already like more of a ball. I'm only going to do 3 on this tray because I don't know if that's how big I was supposed to make them. So we're going to do 3 on this tray. It says to keep them 2.5 inches apart anyway, which is all that this tray can fit. Okay. Put it in the oven. Let's do this. Put that in the oven. Oh, let's do it on a better shelf. Okay. Alexa, set a timer, 12 minutes. Now, the key to this is that the cookies are done when they're light brown and puffed. Because if you overbake them, they're not going to be chewy, and they're supposed to be chewy cookies, not crisp cookies. So 12 to 14 minutes. I do have it on convection bake. I'm going to check them at like 10 minutes just through the door and see where they're at. Now, these other cookies on this tray, I made them by keeping this flat against the scoop and then taking them out. I also think that will be how I get to 25 cookies out of this batch. I don't know where they're getting 25 cookies from, because I don't feel like this is 25 cookies worth of dough, especially if I'd done them the other way. The other way only makes 3 on a tray. I think I can get 5 on a tray with this one. I hope. I hope it's not only 4. There we go. I'm gonna keep this going. Thank you to anybody who's having me on as background noise. I greatly appreciate it. I have many people that I listen to as background noise, and I don't interact super much, but I try to at least give them the numbers they need to exist and to feel like they are loved on the internet, because I am getting something out of it even if I'm not interacting. And I do have social media. I have Twitter and I have Instagram. Both of those are currently at muffin_lives. And they'll probably stay there just because I've already started doing things there. And then the other thing I have is YouTube. That's also at upbeatduck.com. I mean, not upbeatduck.com, though I do have an upbeatduck.com. It's just not up right now. It's in transition at the moment. Sorry, I have to change one of my shelves so I can put these in. There we go. And I just realized I have more pans, so I don't have to wait. I've been many places where I only had 2 pans, and you had to wait until the next time. I mean, yes, I'm using more parchment paper, but if I'm going to make cookies again or make another batch of these, it's not the end of the world. They're probably going to get a little brown though, so they may not be viable for creating much else. Oh, I was going to see how they came out though. I think we'll just make the regular size ones because I want to bring them to a board meeting for a nonprofit that I'm part of tomorrow. So everybody can have a little snack while we're discussing serious, obnoxious topics. I mean, sometimes board meetings are just that. They're there to exist. And I won't put these in until after we discover what each of those cookies has done to itself. So we can always go back and rearrange how cookies are spread out on the pans. So my if you haven't heard yet, my debacle with tonight's thing was I wanted to be on substantially or like 10 o'clock earlier. And then I was getting all the ingredients together and I realized that I didn't have any ginger, which you're making a ginger cookie, you need ginger. I went to the store, got sidetracked a little bit. I ended up with 8 pounds of butter, 4 regular, 4 unsalted. I ended up with some discount ice cream because right now they're redoing all their planograms, which is the floor sets for all their items in the store. This is the time of year that most companies do it because it's after the holidays and traffic has died down enough that they can do stuff on the floor and not have to worry about really being in most customers' way. Right now they're doing ice cream at the supermarkets near me, the supermarket that I frequent. I already went and I got some things. And then this supermarket carries a little bit different selection as well as they're laid out differently. So I went to them. They're the same chain. I went to them today to get this because I was like, oh, I already went to the other one. Why am I going to bother going to that one? Because it's probably going to be the same exact stuff that I just bought because they don't, they don't have more stuff that's going to go on clearance in literally 24 hours of the same things I just bought. They had some different stuff, so I bought some different things. So I'm stocked up on ice cream for a while, but it was all 50% off, so I'm really excited. And it was a lot of like artisan brands and things like that. So I'm excited to try them. And if I really like them, I will track them down and see where they're carried going forward. Sometimes they're just changing flavors, like flavors have been discontinued, and sometimes they're actually changing like the brand that they're carrying in the store. I'm not sure which one any of these are. I know one of the things I didn't end up buying because I do enjoy them, but I don't enjoy them enough to purchase them on a regular basis. They are probably just switching flavors because they still exist and they're still there. The giant ginger cookies are coming along. Let me turn on the oven light. We're going to have to get an oven cam at some point. Oh, they haven't really flattened yet. Didn't say anything about flattening them. Just a rolling course of granulator sugar. Place balls 2.5 inches apart on ungreased cookie sheet. I put down parchment paper. That works. But I went and I got this ice cream and I got butter. And I completely spaced and got more cinnamon, not ginger, which is tragic. So I came home, I opened the bag, I put it on the counter, I took all the ingredients out, I put down the container I had, and I went, wait a minute, that says cinnamon, and the thing in my hand says cinnamon. And I almost gave up, but I was encouraged because I needed to go get some things anyway. I had left the house at 10 or 10:30, had gone to the supermarket. They closed at 11. I came home, and then there's only one store in the area because my regular haunt for going to grocery stores is open. Used to be open until midnight. They are now only open until 11. And then the other location, which is the one I went to this evening, was still closed at 11. So it was nice that I could go to the other one. And they changed that. And it's been a little while since they changed it. So my only other option was Walmart, which I wasn't super thrilled about. But because especially since I was already there today, because they are the only pharmacy in our area that carry dog medications. And I had taken my dog to the vet today and got his allergy pills refilled so that he has seasonal allergies thanks to this lovely weather here in New England, which is up and down and all around for their deciding whether it's going to be hot or cold and all that. It is made the molds and mildews and everything come out, and he is a pug. And so he already has enough problems in that area that he doesn't really need more. I am going to keep it limited to 4 sheet trays. I am wondering how my cookies are doing, but they're flattening. They're just very poofy. They are much flatter in the pictures I have of them. But it still has a few minutes, and I set it for the lower time because it can be 12 to 14 minutes. I did set it for the lower time so I could check on them. Definitely 10 minutes, which is right now, is not enough time. But I'm going to keep an eye on them and see how it goes. I don't want to completely freak out that it's a problem. I wonder, no, it's not a big enough ball because this is right. Unless this is no, this can't be. Yeah, that's like 2 inches. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. Do not know why they're not flattening out the way that I thought they would. Or at least they're not doing it yet. I wonder how many, I can't remember how many recipes there are in this book. I'll have to look that up. Because I don't think my mom numbered the recipes. She numbered the pages, and some have 2 or 3 on it, and some only have 1. Most of them have 2, but I'm not going to make that. So that means this is on page 86. There's like 90 pages in the book. So 180 recipes? Because 180 recipes at least. That's what I'm guessing. At least 180 recipes. So I'll put an update on all my things so that you guys can follow along. I'm still very concerned about these not flattening. It's fine. Should flatten. It'd be nice if they flattened. I will get rid of that big clump of shortening was chilling. Let me get rid of all my dishes can go in here. Alexa, stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna peek. I know it's not good to open the oven door, but I'm very concerned. They're not browned. It does say cookies are light brown and puffed. They are puffed. I don't know what you would define as light brown though, because they're a brown cookie. You know what I mean? The batter is brown. I'm guessing they're saying like a little color more than what they are. We'll get out the cookie cooling racks, and which I thought were in here, and now they're not. Where are you? There we go. All ready for when they come out of the oven. I don't wanna overdo these cookies, but I can't really guarantee whether they're done or not. Okay. The bottom ones look good. The top ones look good, I think, because now they're crackling, which, if I remember correctly, yeah, that's good. Okay. That should be good. And then these are poofed. Well, we'll figure out the exact timing once we get all this situated. Because I'll show you what this one looks like. Hold on, let me go to the stove cam. So, these here, see how, hold on. This one is a little more brown right here. I think that's what they're going for, that it's a little toasty. These started to be a little more toasty, but they're not completely toasty. In just a second, it says to let them cool for a couple minutes. Alexa, set a timer. 14 minutes. 14 minutes.
14 minutes, starting now.
Okay. And then we'll wait for those to cool for 2 minutes. And then I can take them off the sheet tray. But in the meantime, I'm going to put some, well, I'll leave the sugar out just in case. But I will put away everything else. I even had a spot in my spice tray that has a spot for ground ginger, and there was no ginger there. It's all labeled and everything. Also, there is Italian seasoning in that spot, which that is not where that goes. That would have been awkward to do that. Sorry guys, I know that view wasn't great because there was nothing going on. And here we're putting all these ingredients away so I don't have to worry about it when I want to go to bed. Oh, I wanted to wipe the rim of this shortening before I put it away. It is vegetable shortening, though I am not opposed to other forms of deliciousness. I may as well be happy, right? I don't even know where this came from. Which part of my cupboard did you come from? Not that part. Oh, there it is. Giant. So many things. Let's put away these, though this extra cinnamon can go down here with the rest of my overflow spices. Ground cloves, ground cinnamon. We're all ready to go. Make sure my molasses is wiped off, but we'll do that after. I'll put that to the side so I can do that. This. I'm excited. Tomorrow I'm making cast iron pork chops with roasted pears and sage. That's tomorrow night's meal. And then the following night is a bison steak sandwich, which is going to be delicious. Like it just already looks delicious. I do need to buy more bread though. They give me 2 pieces of bread, so it's like more of an open faced sandwich. So I don't know why it's called a sandwich, because the majority of it is meat and no sandwich. I don't know. They called it that. We'll go with it. I'm going to be on more and more as we get used to this setup and everything. I'm trying to do at least a couple days a week. I will be on to do a dessert as well as a meal. But every day I should be on for meals. That's my goal, is to be on every single day, 7 days a week for a meal. I obviously will take breaks, but I find that I enjoy cooking while talking. I just don't enjoy people being in my space while I'm cooking, but I do enjoy interacting with people while I'm cooking. So it's been nice when my wife has been in the kitchen with me. She has been on the other side of the counter, sitting down, helping me out a little bit with camera angles and things, because we're still learning. It's only day 3. Is it day 3 or 4? I don't know. So I asked her a couple questions, but I didn't go crazy on things like that. All right, let me take these off with the spatula. Because, see, they're nice and poofy. There. Hold on. They're nice and poofed. And a little bit of crackly. So that feels right. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the other ones. I remember them being flatter. Maybe I need to not do it on convection. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm just making them, they still feel soft. At least I'm the one eating most of these. That one's the one that got the little bit more brown on it. Right there. But the picture I have of them is me holding them up next to my face to be like, oh, look at all these cookies I made. So I can't really tell you whether or not, that was a feature. I am going to leave the pans on the stove while we wait for the other ones, just because I can't put them on the board. But I will roll in place while we're doing this, while we're waiting for the other ones to be done. I might pull those ones out earlier, just because now the oven's been warmer for longer. But I do feel, if you go to my Instagram or my Twitter page, you can see the Instagram is where it originally was posted from. You can see how much flatter they are, which is why I'm wondering if something is up. They were also darker, but I may have used something different as an ingredient, which may have made them darker. I'm just making some more balls over here, and don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I still have 7 minutes left on my ones that are in the oven, and then I have probably not quite 3 trays, or just 3 trays. Oh, maybe not even. No, probably 2 trays of what I have left. So I will be here for a little bit, talking to you guys while I do this. But yes, I did get all the ingredients. I also had to go to Walmart for something else, even though I had already been there today. I prefer Target, but Walmart is what it is. I know about being on budgets, let me tell you. That was like the highlight of college, was when the 24-hour Walmart, because there weren't a lot of Walmarts up in New England for a very long time, was when the 24-hour Walmart opened when I was in college, and we would go at midnight to Walmart to wander around for like 2 hours. It was kind of ridiculous. But it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And I didn't come home with nearly as much. I actually have one of the original bowls I bought in college, is one of the bowls that I still use today. I was a little tired earlier, but I don't usually go to bed that early. It's just I had not a long day, just my brain needed a little bit of a break to do all this. And I hope you guys keep coming back. If nothing else, subscribe so you know when I'm on. Not subscribe, follow. depends on where you are with the languages. If you follow me, you'll at least get alerted when I'm on, and then you can come and see if you want to watch me for the day. In the titles, there'll always be the little thing that says what we're doing right now. Like right now, we're making the ginger cookies. Earlier, we made the steak ponzu. Wait, no, today wasn't steak. We made stuffed meatloafs today. What am I talking about? Yesterday was ponzu steak bowls. Mixing up my days already. And none of the things I do are sponsored. They're just, I'm trying to figure out what one is for me, which one's more sustainable. I'll have to do some crazy, like, Christine the Science Queen. I don't know if any of you follow Simply Nailogical on YouTube. I'll have to do some kind of charts and graphs and things on different factors that I take into account when doing all these meal kits to figure out what's the best feasible one for my household. I think that would be fun. It would also be a good tool for me to use in order to track this, to figure out what one is the one that I want to stick with long term. I don't want to, I know, sorry guys, you're just watching a tray of balls right now. It is ultimately to decide which ones would be best for me and my household on what we should, continue to eat, because it actually is quite a big budget saver for the majority of these kits, especially if you're used to eating out a lot. This is phenomenally better than that. And while I do enjoy supporting our local businesses, we can't sustain a household if we eat out every single meal. That's just not the way the world works, unfortunately. I don't know if any of you pinged over to my Instagram. I do have a picture of me from 2006 holding this plate of cookies. They do look a little bit different this time, and part of it is probably the fact that I'm using a different oven, the fact that, just the little nuances in weather can affect baking. We don't have the altitude problem here, so I know that's not a factor. Oh, these smell so good. Now let's see if this is the, so it would be 12 minutes right now. Oh, nice. They are really nice and chewy. Hold on. Let me get you to the island. Oh, with all my dirty dishes in it. Sorry guys. Let me clear some of this out of the way. So this cookie, whoop, right there. Right. Sorry, getting used to this. It's nice and moist on the inside. That might be a little raw. Yep, that was not long enough. Not long enough. So we're just gonna let those stay in there the whole entire time and let them brown up, because that's not done. It's supposed to be moist and it's supposed to be chewy, but this is not it. Nope. Good thing we have another tray in the oven of ones to try. It's an experience. It's a learning experience. I'm a sad little cookie. Just my sad little cookie. It's supposed to be good, I swear. They were so delicious. I just didn't let them cook long enough because I haven't baked them in so long. The last time I baked them, I think, was, 2012, maybe. It's been a while since I've baked them at all. So, yep, that's a, I don't know if I can put cookies back in the oven. Let's see if these bigger ones were any better. They are better. Still a little, they're not raw per se. But definitely that crisp brownness that was on that bigger one. Alexa, stop. Let me see if these are even close to being done. I'm going to switch them from front to back just because our oven tends to run a little hot. Oh, in one direction or the other. Like that one was pretty toasty looking. But they're I mean, at least the bigger one is edible-ish. I'm gonna wait till these actually look like what they're supposed to versus going by the time, because the time is wrong. I did find also, I have my favorite banana bread recipe. It actually says banana bread, and then next to it says Muffin's favorite. I have to put it in for 10 minutes longer in our oven. I don't know why, because we put it on convection. And that wasn't a thing in the oven that I ever made it in when I was younger. So, don't know what's the special sauce with this oven. But apparently it needs just 2 more minutes than it says. These are going to be able to be stored in an airtight container for up to 3 days, or else they're going to turn into a rock if you don't put them in the container. Or you can freeze them, it says up to 3 months. So that's not bad. I mean, I've frozen Girl Scout cookies for longer than that. And it is Girl Scout cookie season. Which I need to get some from each of the different bakers because I want to try that and compare it live myself. I know there is a difference. I've tasted the difference. It is heartbreaking sometimes when you think you have one cookie and you have a different cookie. Oh, this cookie is just so sad. I'm so mad. It's supposed to be so good, but it's like the first one was completely raw in the middle. I just wanted a cookie. I've been so good. When I went to go get that ginger, that I ended up with cinnamon and ice cream and butter instead. I bought mini powdered donuts because my boss at work is celiac, and she brought in these amazing donuts that are gluten-free and all this other stuff. But they're gluten-free, and they were amazing, and they were moist, and it was glorious. And so today I bought some just mini white powdered donuts because I was like, oh, I really want those. And I know that I couldn't get the brand that she got, and it would be way more expensive than ordering directly from them for the gluten-free brand. Though I am going to try to go gluten-free for work, just at work. She's really sensitive, so I'm trying to be more mindful of that. I didn't know how sensitive she was until like this week, and we were talking about things, and she said something, and I was like, oh. So I'm trying to stay gluten-free at work so that I'm one less person that contaminates her space. And I'm okay with that. I usually get Starbucks every day that I'm there. I'm only there generally a couple days a week. So I order something that's filled with gluten as a snack, and they deliver it to my store, and it's great. So I don't have to worry about it. Let me check these first. Nope, not quite done. Almost. I'm gonna believe these are almost. So now I'm gonna have to just rethink my snack because it's like my breakfast whenever I go, because I generally start work between 10 and noon, and if it's before noon time, I just get a snack to get me through to either when my break is or when I'm going home, and then I come home and I have lunch. So now I'm trying to go gluten-free at work. So if anybody has recommendations of brands that they have used that are gluten-free, I have done some research. The pastry chef at our restaurant that we own, part ownership in, is called the Venture Pub in Arlington, Massachusetts, they have a lot of different knowledge, but they're not gluten free themselves. So I'm, sometimes knowing what is good and actually being somebody that has to consume it on a daily basis, you get different knowledge there. So I'm trying to piece together what I can do to make lives easier. If anybody has recommendations, it's greatly appreciated. If anybody has recommendations of why these are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that'd be great too. I put in all the ingredients: flour, baking soda, cloves, eggs, molasses, sugar, ginger, cinnamon, shortening, and salt. I mean, I don't know. They don't look perfect as to what the picture is, and I know a couple people just joined. They baking is a science, but it hates me. Let's see what we got here now. They should be done now. They should be brown enough that we can do this. Substantially better. I'm going to do 1 more minute, and then we'll switch them out and put the other ones in. I'm just concerned that if they said don't over bake them, but now I'm worried that I'm going to under bake them. And I don't know. I'm very sad about these cookies. Let's see what other what other fun cookies we can make. Let me clear off my space a little bit. Ooh, lemon crisp. Those sound nice. Don't like most things with nuts. Bars, pistachio cookies, peanut blossoms. Most of these have the people that they were. Ooh, Rugelach fingers. Oh, they are so good. Maybe we'll do that next time. It does have walnuts in it. I think I can exclude those, though. I don't think those are a necessity. There's also chocolate chips in it. I just thought they were. What? I know I like Rugelach, but these are different. My mom made them. And they have mini chocolate chips, walnuts, and raisins. Oh, cinnamon bun cookies. That sounds delicious. Someone else made molasses cookies, which are different than ginger cookies, I know, but okay, now we'll take them out and swap them because they've got to be done, right? Yeah, there we go. That's a nice big crinkle on the top, I guess you would call it. Well, that should be good. Those should be substantially better. Now I just need to get this other pan into the oven. And that takes care of my dough. So that there's 12 in the oven. There's 10 here. So that's 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it made 30 cookies. It said it would only make 24, I think. So we did pretty good on that. That's not bad at all. Ooh, snickerdoodles are also a good one. I'm going to show you guys the difference in these cookies. Let me turn on my oven cam. So these here are much more fissured than the other ones were, because this is the other ones. See how there's a lot more cracks in them? That's more of what we should be getting. They're also a lot flat. Well, they're not too much flatter. They're a little bit more flatter. a little bit more. Alexa, set a timer 14 minutes. I'm being reminded that I should set a timer from the other room, so I'm glad that she's awake. I'm surprised she's not asleep because she has work in the morning. And now she's gonna be like, oh. Welcome anybody that just tuned in. I'm making giant ginger cookies tonight. And you'll have to go watch the rewind if you want to find out my debacle about getting all the ingredients. It wasn't that hard of a task. Yeah, it says mix 25 4-inch cookies. That's not horrible. They look 4-inch-ish. And now that these have been cooled for a couple minutes, we can take them off the sheet. But yeah, look at that. That's a lot better in that regard for the fissuring. I think that's really what gives it its pizzazz. I feel like when I made the giant ones, they were much bigger. Maybe I smooshed them first. I'm trying to figure out what I did differently then, because these are not as large. Maybe I might have used a bigger ice cream scoop as well, because if you only have one size ice cream scoop, that's the only one you're going to use. Let me ping off back to this for you guys so you can see me waiting on my cookies. They are delicious. On this one I ate all the non-raw bits off the edges. It was still good. It's raw in the middle. That's not the feature you want. Sorry for the clattering. And if anyone has any recommendations of what they want me to see bake next, that'd be great. The cooking, I will be doing the meal kits for a while. I have 5 meal kits that come in right now from, now I can't remember the name of it. I'll think it through, Every Plate. So I have 5 of those that come in from Every Plate every week right now. And then I have 2 that I get not every week. I've skipped a couple weeks recently because I just didn't want the things that they had on the menu. So it's called Local Basket. I get 2 meals from them right now. I have them in the fridge for all the ingredients, which reminds me I need to double check the ingredients. It came in really early the other day. I came home from an appointment and I saw it on the doorstep and it was 1:30 in the afternoon, and they usually don't deliver it to me at least until 3. They have been growing a lot, and there has been a lot of different things they're trying. I actually have to message them and say, hey, I've been doing this for a while. Can you just tell me some key ingredients I should carry in my kitchen? And then you don't have to send me X, Y, and Z. That would be appreciated, because I constantly use soy sauce, or I constantly use brown sugar, or I constantly use, they don't provide olive oil. So the oils are all but the just staples that sometimes you have, if they could just tell me what they are, and then I can float around and figure out what I need to have on hand. But the soy sauce, bouillon, they've been sending me bouillon. They used to send it as a broth, like a pre-made, and now they're sending it as you mix it in. So, but, oh yeah, these look way different. They are a much darker brown now. I didn't realize the difference in the cookie color. Let me pop over to the stove cam so you can see this. Hold on. So this cookie and this cookie. So that's still hot. Let me grab my mitts. You can already see on your screen, I'm sure, that they are very different colors. But now, let me lift this up so you can see just how different they are. The one over here is what it's supposed to look like. The one over here is too light, and now that I remember how it's supposed to look, that makes a lot more sense. That it's, you know, the darker one with the more breaks in it because it poofed up enough. Because they said it has to poof. Then that is the ideal cookie poofiness. I do have 8 more minutes left on this timer, and we might leave them in for 10 because that's the color I want, not the other way around. I'm going to sneak this cookie. We'll take the darker one. Oh yeah, it's still chewy, and that's definitely done. That is not dough in the middle. I'm very happy. I don't know if anybody's into AMSR. But, I mean, if anybody wants me to make one eating a cookie, I'll gladly do that. Sorry, guys. Like in your face, in your ears. I am going to have to stream earlier for you guys. It seems that you guys people haven't found me yet is part of it. But you guys seem to like it when I do it more towards East Coast dinner time. Somewhere between 5 and 7. You seem to have latched on to very well, but this 2 a.m. in the morning is not your cup of tea. But we will see, and maybe I'll pick up, I had a couple people from Australia on the other day. I have some other people from like San Francisco and things, so they're 3 hours behind us. So if I do it at 7, it's like 4 o'clock their time. Haven't seen anybody from across the pond in the Europe area, but I would not be surprised if I end up with people from there. So I'm excited to continue to do this for everybody and to really delve into all the things that have brought me to cooking, brought me to learning to cook at 35. I'm 36 now. I've been learning to cook for a little over a year. Took a long time and on therapy and support to get to this point that I can actually do this and do it successfully and, you know, not have a panic attack or, you know, a complete meltdown or just avoid cooking for months on end, which, you know, was the case. I did bake. I do enjoy baking. I was baking still some, just not as much as I had been. Because I used to really enjoy it, and cooking just never like clicked in my brain because everyone's like, oh yeah, no, it's kind of an art and you need to, you know, you really gotta like, you get into it. And I just didn't understand because I had never been taught the real basics. Like, I mean, I had done it, like, I had helped in the kitchen and things like that, but I had never like stayed with it. Like, my sister can cook. She like was a little more interactive in the kitchen. I just didn't, it wasn't my interest, so I didn't really understand that it would be needed in life. And then some things happened that prevented me from cooking for many years. So
So that's one of the microphone cameras overhead.
Okay.
And then that's the audio mixer. I don't know why the audio mixer's not coming up. Talk.
I'm talking.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're having some sound weirdness going on. We don't know why it kicked out then. That makes absolutely no sense because we changed batteries earlier on something, and then I have no idea. Alexa, stop.
Oh, hand me one of these gorgeous cookies, Mom.
Oh, I was
Cooked
just...
ones.
Yes, one of the cooked ones. Here you go. Have one that's definitely done.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, come here and look. Oh, hold on. I'll just shove this towards your face. See how you can see how undone these were.
You can see it on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, oh no, my poor little cookies. My poor little cookies. But yeah, let me look in the oven. Let me flip them around. Because our oven does this weird thing that one side cooks. I'm going to flip those. Give it a couple more minutes. Not much more. So that they'll be done. Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I'm going to eat a little bit more cookie before I bid you adieu. I'll switch back over to the camera to show the cookies coming out of the oven again so that you guys can see the differences in each batch and what they should and shouldn't be. I will put the recipe up. I haven't taken pictures of it or anything yet, but I will put it up. It will be only on my Patreon. So if you really want it, that's the way you get it. But you don't have to be set at a high level for that. That's like my base level of, I think it's like $3 or $5, I think. And then, because I'm going to have lots of things on there that I'm not getting sponsored for anything that I do. Everything is out of pocket. I need a way to be able to afford it. And you know, it's just appreciated. I want to be able to do this more, and if I'm working a bazillion hours, that's not going to happen, or if I'm having to do other things to make the ends meet in order to do this, then it's not really worth it. But I know you guys love it. I've had a lot of people come in over the past few days just doing this, and I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to share it with my journey of cooking and, you know, interact with you guys more, answer questions, give you feedback, give you resources, and really expand everybody's knowledge of, you know, the circumstances I'm living with and the circumstances other people may be living with, and how to work through them and how long it can sometimes take to work through them. But I do want to give, you know, a really good resource for people. And I found that I could not just sit staring at a camera without doing something, because I get bored and then I lose my train of thought and I get distracted and I feel like I'm just not personable by just sitting in front of a camera. You can go to my YouTube and you can see my first video. I mean, it's good. It's fine. It's just I want to give a better resource for people that they want to interact with versus that. Oh yeah, these look good. Those look good. Are they brown enough? Yeah, they're brown enough. Okay. I want to make sure they're brown enough. If they're not brown enough, let's spin over to the stove cam. Oh, that one I just smooshed. That was my bad. Oh no, this is the one that had a little break in it. Is this dark enough? Oh, they don't look dark enough now that I have this other one on the plate with it. Well, Darn it. Hope they're good enough. Maybe I'll make some more tomorrow. Maybe I'll make something completely different for people at the board meeting that I'm going to. I don't want to poison anybody. You have to leave these here for like 2 minutes. But yeah, we can see this one isn't as far off. Yeah, that's the right color. The other one was just really dark. Like really dark. Now that I've manhandled like half these cookies, I don't want anybody to really want to share them. But yes, my first batch was not great. And now it's much better. And now I have to wait for these to cool. And I will bid you adieu in just a moment. But please, if you're not already following me here, do so. You'll get alerts on when I'm live. My goal is to be live a minimum of 5 days a week. 7 if I can. Every day will be dependent on what my mental health is like for the day. Times will vary due to that as well. For instance, I was really tired after doing the earlier podcast, the earlier stream. So I almost didn't stream now, but I got a second win, so I was able to do that, and I'm glad that I did. And let's see. Hold on, guys. Let me show you the cookies first. So I'm going to show you the differences in my batches. So this was my first batch. It's raw. That one was less raw than the other one that I first took off. And then this one is baked. And it's delicious. So with this recipe in particular, the fissuring and the darker brown is the key to creating the cookie, because this was the lighter brown. There's still some fissuring in this one, but it's definitely a different color. And then this one is much darker. So this one is like almost overdone, where these are like perfect, and then this one is underdone. And I like infographics, so you guys will probably get some fun infographics. Let me pop over to my other camera just to say goodbye to y'all, and eat a little bit more of this cookie. Real good. Sorry. Like I said, these cookies, they're giant ginger cookies. I did get them from some like magazine or something. So I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. Though it will be on my Patreon. I will post that in a little bit. Patreon is under Upbeat Duck. Instagram is under muffin_lives. So is my Twitter is under muffin_lives. And my YouTube page is under Upbeat Duck. So 3 things are under Upbeat Duck and 2 things are under muffin_lives. I've been using the muffin_lives one for a couple years, and it's my public, open to everybody, Twitter and Instagram. So that's the easiest way to find me, and that's where I'll post updates about what I'm going to be doing for the day or the week and things like that. I'm going to try only to do a couple days in advance for letting people know what I'm going to be doing, just because I don't want to overextend myself and then you guys miss out on amazing content because I can't film when I said I could film. This recipe, the giant ginger cookies, you can store them in an airtight container for 3 days or freeze them for 3 months. So I'm going to eat them probably in the next couple days. So I will definitely put them in like a Tupperware or some sort of glass / plastic concoction holder. I don't know what else to call it. There's another brand out there that does glass ones, and now I can't remember. But if you follow me here, you will get alerted when I'm live. Once I get going, I'll be on a better schedule though the times will vary. So I just want to let you all know it will vary from day to day and from week to week, depending on work schedules, other obligations, and my health and mental health. So thank you very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate all of you. I will get that recipe up in a little bit on my Patreon. And whack, whack. Good night, everyone.